Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. We're here in the heart of the community. There's no better place than I should be than right here in the heart of the Dunbar community. The trucks are passing, the cars are passing. This is exactly what I want, where I want to be with this television show in the African American community. In fact, if I wasn't in the African American community with this television show, what good am I to you? Behind me are some historic murals of various people who have influenced this community of African descent. We're sitting in the lot right next to the historic McCullum Hall. So proud to be here and so proud to introduce my next guest on the show who have done such a great job at contributing to society. We have the Reverend Roger Walker. He's the husband of the author who's here, Barbara Walker. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's hold this book up. I Do Fit.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about I Do Fit by Barbara Walker. Every time you look up, she's writing another book. I bet she's working on one right now.
Yes, I am.
Hey, Barbara, you would never stop. Tell us about that spirit that keeps you always trying to encourage people. We'll talk about how encouraging this book is as well.
There's something about being able to nurture and birth a person to the next level. The mind is always going, always thinking of ways that I can encourage and help build and help push someone to their next destiny. So I learned some sense to start writing it down so that when I can't remember it, someone somewhere will still be able to capture what it is that the Lord was giving me in my mind and in my thoughts.
Every time when I talk to you, you never forget to mention the Lord.
That's it.
Your whole foundation is based on Christian principles?
Yes, it is.
And sitting right next to us, this handsome young man right here is the Right Reverend, right?
Yes, it is.
So that would make you the First Lady?
I am First Lady, Pastor, Assistant, Associate, whatever you call it.
Let's meet the Right Reverend Walker. Tell us about your church.
Well, we are a community-based ministry. Our ministry is called Connecting in the Spirit Outreach Ministries, incorporated within the beautiful city of Waimama, Florida.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, we are built on nourishment, built on training, built on building and strengthening the people that comes. It's our job to go out and compel the people. But in order for us to compel the people, we have to be trained properly ourselves. So we sit up under the leadership of Apostle Lucinda Rich out of Fort Pierce, Florida, of the End Time Deliverance Ministries. So it's truly a blessing to be here with you.
And the whole idea of me saying that you don't have a problem in this particular setting being identified as Barbara's husband, huh?
No, sir, not at all. Not at all. Because I believe it is my job to help push her to her full potential as a father, as a husband, as a dad, as a friend.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, you heard me mention early on that she's always working on something. I know you're the same way. I've seen you guys on radio together. You're like coffee and cream. I mean, y'all go together so smoothly on radio. Y'all disagree sometimes on things, but y'all still find that point where y'all agree on most things. Talk about the radio show. I want to get you to talk about the radio show and how people can tune in.
Well, the radio show is an awesome radio show. And I'm telling you, man of God, the Lord has opened up some doors for me and my wife to help out married couples, people that are contemplating on getting married, people that are dating, people that have been through divorce. It is our job as having this radio show to enhance and to let them know that there is a godly marriage still exists out there, that we do have our disagreement to agree. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree together? And so me and my wife agree on a lot of things because when we first got married, we put everything on the table. I even talked with her children about if we're going to interfere in your relationship, I won't date your mother. That's how serious it is. Because I just don't marry her, but I marry the entire family.
Beautiful.
And so the radio show is all about family oriented. It's all about ministry. It's all about marriage. It's all about building and connecting.
Let's hold up this book. Couple of words stand out here: friendship, employment, relationship, ministry. I Do Fit.
Yes.
Who are these people on the cover?
Believe it or not, it is family. It is my son-in-law, his mom, his brothers, sister, niece, my daughter, our daughter, our daughters.
Because when I looked at it, it looked like a family reunion.
It is, it is.
That was important to you. Why this cover?
So important because the I Do Fit book fits every age and generation that's on that cover.
Summarize I Do Fit. What is it about?
I Do Fit is a book about encouragement to build you in each area, to remind you that wherever the Lord allowed your feet to tread, you do fit. That you can build and be birthed from that area.
You give some examples in there, but one of the things that in the Rev, we talked about it as well, but one of the things that stood out to me in the book is the whole concept of, at some point, you got to realize what your values are.
That's
who
it.
you are.
That's it.
Don't let other people define you.
Oh my God, that's
Set
it.
your compass, and no matter all the things that come your way, keep pressing forward.
That's it. Stay
Expound
focused.
on that.
Oh, regardless of the fact of the choices that you make, whether it's in your relationship, in your business, even in your friendship, if you know that this is where God placed you, I don't care what comes, what will or may, what obstacles, what events may occur, you stay that course until the Lord directs you otherwise, because He put you there for a reason.
Why did you write the book? You could have been thinking about it, but you put it in writing.
Yes, there was an occurrence in my life. I've been a nurse for over 40 years, and I entered into an employment. And in the midst of that employment, I was told that I did not fit. Every job in that place I had worked. But all of a sudden, just before my 90 days, I was told I didn't fit. And the mindset was, if that hit me like it did at this point in my life, there's someone else that's feeling the same way, that's about to give up, quit that job, leave that ministry, quit that marriage, because someone made them feel like they didn't fit because of their inadequacies or their low self-esteem.
What do you want? How do you want people to feel after they read your book?
After they read this book, I want them to feel empowered. I want them to go back and get what's theirs. I want them to dream again. I want them to begin again.
Reverend Walker, when she was putting this book together, and you were part of the process, proofreading it and listening to her, what are some key things you wanted to make sure that she put in that book?
Well, make sure that she's spiritually led. Make sure that the Lord has given her the go-ahead to do this. A lot of times we can move too fast and we can be out of order with what God really wants, because we can miss the person that we need to minister to. And a lot of times when we write something, we have to wait for the person to be born in order for it to be published.
That's true.
And I want her to look at the key point of her being honest with herself. Because when she's honest with herself, going back to her roots, her childhood, or what she had been through in life, what she has dealt with, because she had been through a lot of things in her life, but she had to forgive in order to move forward.
Yes.
So in order for her to help someone, she had to forgive those that hurt her, even including myself, as coming up in a marriage. And so once she did that, and once we sat down and we talked about the book, now she's able to process it, to make sure that everything is accurate with what she's saying.
And when you have a male perspective, when you're penning something like that, like your husband who's going to tell you the truth, how does that help you in making sure you get your message across?
Then I can look at it from both ways, male and female. I can see the male part, and I can see the sensitive and the masculine part of it. And that's important to me, because I want to be able to appeal to them too, so that when they do pick the book up, they won't feel like it's just about a woman. Yes.
And when we talk about I do fit, it kind of connotates that people are trying to fit in and people are trying to keep them from fitting in. But a lot of times when you don't fit in, that's exactly where you need to be.
Yes.
And you talk about that, expound on that.
Sometimes there is a struggle when we try to go a direction that we were designed or predestined or ordained to do. And when we have difficulties, a lot of times we'll quit. We know that we're supposed to be there to make a mark. We're supposed to make it, we're supposed to be the one. But if someone can cause us to doubt who we are and not look at who He made us to be, then we'll go back the other way.
I remember when I was approached to do a television show. I was a starch, wingtip shoes, blue suit banker, right? They started offering me this television show. And I kept saying, I'm not interested in being on television. Get somebody else. I kept turning it down. The public doesn't generally know that. I turned it down 3 times over, say, a 5-month period. They kept calling me and kept calling me. I kept saying no, like, why these people keep calling me? Now, 30 years later, I realized it was supposed to be for me. I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't fit into that. I didn't go to school for telecommunications.
So
I went to school, I'm an MBA, I'm a business major. But having done this show, it actually was perfect for me to be able to highlight people, meet great people like yourself.
Yes, and we thank you.
If I just stuck to my trying to fit into where I thought I fit in the financial industry, just being a banker and retired, I would never have had this great experience.
Perfect example. That's it.
I saw you shaking your head over there too. Go ahead and talk about that fitting in.
Oh my goodness.
Things God has His plan, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, He does. I mean, He does have it. We are ordained for this. This is not no mistake at all. It's an ordained purpose. But we can be out of place and also be out of grace. And when that takes place, that causes more bumps and potholes in the road for us. The Bible tells us that he make one rich and he add no sorrow. The things that we are struggling in life is because we put ourselves in there. 1 Corinthians 12 and 18 say, I have placed every member in the place that pleases me. God said, I'll put you where I want you to be. The problem that we're having as a people, as a whole, we don't stay where God put us at. Because we try to mimic and be like others instead of being like the Creator called us to be.
Well, how can we, Barbara, how can we recognize, or are we always going to be able to recognize where we're supposed to be in advance? Like I was telling you about, I didn't ever visualize myself being a TV talk show host or a radio host or anything like that. I couldn't have seen the future, but how does one have a general idea of where they fit?
Sometimes it's not well received when I say it, when my husband says it, but it's in the struggle. If there's a fight, if there's a no, if there's a rejection, it's in that storm that he's trying to pull you through to show you who you are.
Let's take a excerpt from your book, if you don't mind.
Yes.
While you find that excerpt, I want you to read an excerpt from the book. Find that excerpt, and I'll get a question in to the right reverend as we speak.
Okay.
As she's finding that excerpt, Reverend, the black men, many of them, of us, because of the station in life that we might have, being born in America, segregation, discrimination, all that thing. What's your message to black men to find out where they fit? What's that key?
Well, the key point is just being yourself and allow the life that you're living to be a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Because the trials that we go to, Paul said, count them all joy. And so when we go through some things in our lives, especially as a black man, as I grew up in the country, I grew up with both mothers in the house, but it was a shaky marriage. But on top of that, I did some things that I shouldn't have done because I was reaching out for help. A lot of times we reach out help in all the wrong places. But there is a place that you can touch and reach someone, and that's Jesus himself.
I see.
And once you find out who Christ is, then you'll know who you is. But until then, you're going to always be stumbling.
You can't skip that step.
You can't skip that step.
Let's go and read an excerpt from your fine book.
Okay, believe it or not, it's going to tie all in together. Seek help before growing into adulthood. Some of us have a hard time asking for help. We may be drowning in life and still won't ask for help from others. On a personal note, I thought I had it all together. I thought I made it because I made it through young adulthood issues with little to no scars. That wasn't the case. Why did it hurt so bad to hear the words, "You don't fit," at my age? I had to think back over my life. What life lessons didn't I learn in rejection? Where did I fail myself? I kept thinking, I know who I am. I remember saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," according to Luke 23 and 24 in the ESV version. I found myself praying for those that caused me pain in my life. Remember, even when you have given your best, rejection can still come. Sometimes it's not you. It may be the other person dealing with self-esteem issues. So I wanted to share my experience to help someone else along the way. Even after denial, remind yourself you are worthy, you are valuable, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And I pray you receive that on today.
Outstanding. Very great information. How can people get your book?
It is found on the Amazon and Kindle, and it is available at Kingdom Christian Bookstore in Centerville, Georgia, and also kingdomchristianbookstore.com. Okay.
And I think the last time you were on the show, you gave an email or a phone number or some old-fashioned stuff. And also you on Facebook if they want to hit you up.
Facebook and Instagram.
You're all over there on Instagram.
Yes, I am. YouTube, I'm there. I'm there.
Just type in your name.
Just type in my name
and the name of the book.
Yes.
All right, it's right here. It's a great read. I Do Fit.
Yes.
We are just blessed to have both of you to appear on Lee Pitts Live.
Blessed to be here.
And looking forward to seeing you tonight at Lee Pitt Live after work.
Yes, sir.
Y'all connect
all
with
white
the people.
If it's right.
Got another outfit in the car, I guess.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be.
We stay ready.
It's gonna be a spectacular setting indeed.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic. I'm so busy working on it, But sometimes, like, I think tonight I'm going to just sit down and enjoy it.
And
that's impossible, though.
We just want to say thank you so much for accepting the call. Thank you for your yes. Because of your yes, we're here today. And we appreciate you.
Yeah, I came kicking and screaming.
Kicking and screaming. Nails on the side of the wall, but we're here. And we'll thank you.
I'm gonna capitalize that with when I finally agreed to host the show in 1991. When we weren't seeing any black people on television back then. And here's what my plan. Okay, I'll host the show for about 6 months, right? It'll go off the air, and I'll have some VHS cassettes that one day I'll show my kids that, you know, back in 1991, I host a TV show. Really, Daddy? Yeah, right. And I stick in the old VHS cassette, and it'll be a conversation piece. And since that time, we went to DVD, and now we got YouTube, we got all this digital stuff. And it's 30 years later.
30 years later, still going strong.
And the VHS cassettes are in the garage, but I transferred them all over to DVD.
Oh, nice, nice.
So they can maintain.
Lee Pitts is still here.
You never know what your it is, huh?
That's
what do you call it? I do fit.
I do fit.
Lord knows this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So remember, on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like this fine couple who are doing it. And Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers got the juice. We'll be right back.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.
Hello everybody, this is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show. And if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch Lee Pitts Live on demand anytime, and also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live, and there you go.